Student Senate. Before we begin with roll call, I will begin with the land acknowledgement. The Fresno State campus sits in the midst of the San Joaquin Valley, a valley rich in the traditions and representation of Native American peoples and cultures. We are grateful to be in the traditional homelands of the Yokuts and Mono peoples, whose diverse tribal communities share stewardship over this land. Thank you for joining me in this acknowledgement. We will now move on to roll call. The Senate Recorder will take roll call, and please respond when your name is called.
President Saleh. Here. EVP Prado.
Here.
VPF Guzman. Here. VPEX Vu.
Here.
Senator Armstrong. Senator Camlin.
Here.
Senator Carrillo.
Here.
Senator Chobanian.
Here.
Senator Durham.
Here.
Senator Guzman.
Here.
Senator Hassan.
Here.
Senator Hernandez.
Here.
Senator Jarvis.
Here.
Senator Martinez. Senator Marcos.
Here.
Senator Ornelas.
Here.
Senator Pierce.
Here.
Senator Rivera.
Here.
Senator Seavey.
Here.
Senator Singh.
Here.
Senator Vang. Here.
Thank you, Senate Recorder. There are 16 senators present and 4 executives present. Quorum is met. We'll now proceed to item 3.0, public comment. Public comment is a time for any member of the public to address the Senate on any issue affecting Associated Students, Inc. and/or California State University, Fresno. You can either address your concern live during the meeting at the allotted time, or you can send your comment ahead of time via email to asi-vice-president. We will now open the floor to public comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. If there is any public comment, please approach the podium.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? Hi, my name is Gani Verk. I'm a student here at Fresno State, and I want to make a brief comment about recent news and an email that was actually sent by President Saul Sandoval regarding the removal of the Cesar Chavez statue from our Peace Gardens here by the library at SAC. First, I'd like to commend President Sandoval and the administration for taking such swift action against and standing up for survivors of sexual violence and abuse. But I think that I will admit that this came as very shocking news to me, considering the administration's policies regarding sexual misconduct and racist allegations of other people that are currently standing in the Peace Garden. For decades, Punjabi and other students on campus have called for the administration to remove the statue of Mohandas Gandhi from our Peace Center. And we have been ignored, largely, and been told that the administration will not support that, as well as other faculty and professors on campus. To begin, I'd like to read some of the things about Mohandas Gandhi that are extremely troubling and do not belong in our Peace Garden here at Fresno State. In 1930, Mohandas Gandhi, when visiting South Africa, stated that he wrote the white people there should be the predominating race, and that black people are troublesome, very dirty, and live like animals. Furthermore, to test his chastity, he slept naked next to his grandnieces in order to test his willpower to abstain from sex. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd consider that as sexual abuse and sexual violence. And I fear this does not have any place in our Peace Garden. And I think we should take the precedent that President Sandoval has set from his swift action in removing the Cesar Chavez statue from our Peace Garden, and we need to apply this to other atrocities held by people that currently stand in that garden. And we need to hold the administration accountable for claims that they've previously ignored in the past. And this isn't without precedent. President Sandoval has created the precedent now with the Cesar Chavez statue. Additionally, campuses and universities around the world, as well as around the country, have removed statues of Mohandas Gandhi because of these racist and sexual misconduct that he has proven and shown in the past. Specifically, a university in Ghana removed this statue decades ago when learning about these misconduct and allegations. So I just wanted to come and make clear what is going on and what Punjabi students on this campus have been advocating for a very long time. And this excited me because the precedent has been set, and I expect that it will be extended to other figures on this campus and in the Peace Garden who do not meet the qualifications to be considered peaceful, nonviolent, and impactful. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to public comment. Do we have anyone else here for public comment today?
Hi everybody, good to be back. I'm here to champion Vintage Days, as I know it's coming up on the agenda. I'll make this quick because I know you guys have a busy meeting coming up. Vintage Days was a critical event for my organization, Alpha Sigma Phi, to stay active and funded. Sales from the Pineapple booth at Vintage Days single-handedly funded our entire year, earning us thousands of dollars. I know this is the case for a bunch of other clubs that participate as booths at Vintage Days. Having focused on getting funds for engineering orgs during my time here at ASI, a big conclusion that we came to is that we needed to help these clubs fundraise for themselves. They can't be dependent on IRA or anything else like that, which could come and go. I'm sure this is the same thing for a lot of other clubs. I just had my domain. Last year, 21 clubs participated as vendors, but there's a total of 260 total vendors, exhibitors, and sponsors of the event, which drew in about 50,000 people in foot traffic. There's no other event at this scale at Fresno State, nor one with as much potential for helping clubs and organizations on campus. I'm urging you all to fund this event to the fullest, thinking of it not only as a great method of community engagement, but one as an investment in the clubs at Fresno State. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to public comment. Is anyone else here for public comment? Okay, we did get one emailed in, so I'll go ahead and read it. Dear ASI Senate, my name is Cameron Black, and I am a third-year electrical engineering student at Fresno State and the president of the National Society of Black Engineers on campus. Although I am unable to attend in person due to traveling for a national conference, I wanted to submit a quick personal statement in support of Vintage Days. Our organization participated in Vintage Days last year, where we raised a little over $1,500 through the work crew. That money didn't sit around or go towards pizza parties. It went directly towards helping our members attend regional and national conferences, where students had the opportunity to secure internships and full-time job opportunities. Our national conference alone hosts well over 150 companies actively recruiting for internships and full-time positions. The cost of sending members to these conferences can reach thousands of dollars, but the return is clear: more students securing full-time positions in their fields after graduation. This year, we are continuing that effort with a structure that ensures 100% of what each student helps raise goes directly towards their own conference expenses. It gives students a real incentive to show up, put in the work, and invest in their own future. Beyond funding Vintage Days also gives us a chance to give back to the campus while strengthening our team. Spending long hours working together might not sound glamorous, but it builds real connection and teamwork. For me personally, it pushed me to step up as a leader, coordinate my team, and make sure things ran smoothly. I'm confident that our organization represented itself well, and I believe the Vintage Days work crew coordinators could speak to that. Vintage Days is one of the most effective ways for our organization to create a real impact. Without the funds we raise, some of our members simply wouldn't have had access to the same opportunities they have today, and those opportunities can genuinely change career paths. I strongly encourage the Senate to continue supporting Vintage Days and the students and organizations that rely on it. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you for emailing in that public comment. If there's no other public comment, we will now move on to action item 4.0, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Pierce.
I move to amend the agenda to replace action item 7.3 with the Dream Success Center Supplemental Grocery Initiative Program.
Okay, so then the motion would just move all the other numbers down. Is there a second for that motion? Senator Hernandez? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion to amend the agenda passes. We'll now be voting on the motion to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Senator Martinez?
A motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, a second? Senator Rivera? Okay, we'll now be voting on the motion to approve the amended agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion to approve the agenda for Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 passes. We'll now open the floor for motions on item 5.0, approval of the minutes. The Senate will review the minutes from the ASI Student Senate meeting held on March 4th, 2026. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Jelania?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second? Senator Martinez?
Second.
Any discussion or debate? Any competing motions? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion to approve the minutes from Wednesday, March 4th, 2026 passes and the minutes are adopted. We'll now move forward to item 6.0 reports. The first item is 6.1, campus resource reports. Each speaker presenting a campus resource report will have 10 minutes to address the Student Senate. Are there any campus resource reports? Seeing and hearing none, we'll now move forward to item 6.2, campus administration reports. Each speaker presenting a campus administration report will have 3 minutes to address the Student Senate. Are there any campus administration reports? Seeing and hearing none, we'll now be moving forward to the first action item of budget call. I want to clarify to senators and anyone in the crowd that for time constraints and due to the size of our agenda, our next 12 action items, including this one, regarding budget call requests after voting on one, we will promptly move on to the next in the same order. The Student Senate has reserved 7 minutes for each item. If you feel like more discussion time is needed, after each item is presented by the Finance Committee, please give a motion to extend time, which will then require a second motion, and then we'll vote on it. BPF Guzman and the Finance Committee will present on these items. After they present, there will be time for questions, discussion, and then we will move on to motions and a vote. Before we begin with our first action item, I'll yield the floor to Operations Manager Lizitza for a few operational remarks regarding today's budget call.
Hello everyone in the Senate and everyone in the crowd as well. I just wanted to explain a few different things and point out a few different things before we start for the day and ask a few things of you guys as a Senate. The first is to be polite when you ask questions and when you get more details from the presenters on their items. These are fellow campus peers and partners who work every day to creating programming and experiences for students, and they do other things than we do, but we're here to support them, and it's good to be equitable and polite when asking questions. You do not have to motion for signage. It is already automatically included in our policies that if we give funding over to anyone, whether it be budget call or club grants, that they are obligated to include us in their signage for their events, so it's not necessary to include in your motion. For terms for your conflict of interest, if you are a member of any of these programs who are presenting today for funding, and you are a part of that program as a student employee, in this case, it is appropriate to choose not to abstain. You have the choice to abstain, but in this case, because of just the sheer mass of the amount of applications coming in, it is a very good chance that most of you, one here or there, are involved with most, if not all, or some of the programs that are being presented today. So your insight into how those programs work internally are valuable in this moment as well. So feel free to not be afraid of it conflicting with our conflict of interest rules that we have in our bylaws. And also, in terms of the budget, if you guys, depending on the amount of money that you guys award today to the different programs, it will affect the budget for the Senate next year. It's not a positive or a negative thing. Either way, the money is going to programming. You as senators have to make a judgment call whether you want to support these programs that are being presented today, and in what manner, and in what amount, and that is completely your call as a Senate to make it, but consider the effects on the budget, and I'm sure the Finance Committee will explain that as well. So I yield my time.
Thank you for your remarks. We'll now move on to the first item, 7.1, budget call, Fresno State South Valley Campus graduation and promo giveaway items. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finances Committee recommendations regarding the budget call from Fresno State South Valley Campus regarding graduation and promo giveaway items. The Student Senate has allocated 7 minutes for this item, and the floor is yours.
Okay guys, so I'll just read the amount requested and then the amount that the Finance Committee awarded, and then I'll yield my time to them just so they can answer any questions you may have as to why they recommended that amount. So for the South Valley Campus, for the graduation and promo giveaway, they requested $1,000 and they were awarded by the Finance Committee the full amount of $1,000. So then I'll yield my time to the Finance Committee. You guys have any questions?
Is there any discussion on the floor regarding the proposal? Any questions? Senator Martinez?
So this is promo items for the South Valley campus for the graduation. and that graduation is held at Fresno State, right, at the Seymour Center? Am I saying that right, or who am I asking?
I believe it's for Stoles and like other graduation promo for, it wouldn't be for this year, cause, for budget call, it'd be like for the next academic year, so this would be like anything saying like graduation supplies for their graduates next year, but I believe, yeah, they do graduate here.
Any other discussion or questions? If there's no other discussion or questions, we can open the floor for motions. Senator Sevi,
Move to approve.
with the Finance Committee's recommended. Okay. And then is there a second? Senator Durham,
I'll second.
any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Armstrong,
Yes.
Senator Camley,
Yes.
Senator Carrillo,
Yes.
Senator Chavanian,
Yes.
Senator Durham,
Yes.
Senator Guzman,
Yes.
Senator Kazan,
Yes.
Senator Hernandez,
Yes.
Senator Jarvis,
Yes.
Senator Martinez,
Yes.
Senator Marcos,
Yes.
Senator Anellis,
Yes.
Senator Pierce,
Yes.
Senator Rivera,
Yes.
Senator Sevi,
Yes.
Senator Singh,
Yes.
Senator Vane. With the unanimous yes count vote, the motion passes. We'll now be moving on to the next action item, 7.2, the Student Recreation Center intramural sports. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from the Student Recreation Center regarding intramural sports. The Student Senate has allocated 7 minutes for this item, and the floor is yours.
Okay, so this, the amount requested was $20,000 for the intramural sports, and finance committee recommendation was $5,000. And then I'll yield my time to the presenter in case they have any questions or yield.
For the intramurals, is that different than this budget line for the student fees? How it has club sports and intramurals?
That's the money that the increase that they got for the
Well, at least we have the budget memo that President Sandoval approved in April of last year, and it does say on to here, $350,000 was given to club sports and intramurals. Do you know, was that just towards club sports, or was it to intramurals as well?
That was split between club sports and intramurals, so we received $175,000 each, and then we actually, because intramurals is mainly a male participation, we asked for approval to loop in or to add in group fitness, which is mostly female participation, so it'd be shared. And so intramurals and group fitness are working together to share that 175 that's available. But our understanding and everything that we've been pushed towards is that is to do enhancements, more and improved programming, not to be used for student wages.
Any additional questions or remarks from senators? Senator Durham?
For the intramural sports, I've just had a few friends who have participated, and they've mentioned that they have to pay in order to be a part of the intramural sports. So I'm just wondering, where does that money
Go.
Yeah.
So our team sports, which is about half of our programming is a team sport, it's a $20 team fee. So the entire team in total would be $20, which is about $2,000 for the entire year what we would make on team fees. That $20, if we're doing flag football, takes 2 officials and a scorekeeper, so that $20 doesn't even cover the cost of staffing for one single game. And so that just goes to help offset. Mostly what that is used for is to kind of help hold people accountable for coming, is that they've put their down, they're committing to coming and participating. It's been $20 since the 80s. We've never raised the team fee.
Any additional? Senator Hernandez?
And may I ask, the $20,000 MOU that is expired this year, how have you guys been allocated? I mean, where has that money been?
So the $20,000, can I give a little background? Is that allowed? So at ASI originally fully funded intramurals is 2 full-time staff members and the entire programming, which was $150,000. And at one point, when the rec center opened in 2006, they said, hey, we're not going to fund anything at all, and dropped the program completely. Thankfully, the Student Rec Center was able to pick that up in 2007, and so the Student Rec Center has taken on the complete cost of intramurals with whatever support has come from ASI. Some years that's $3,000, some years that's $20,000. Our very first year, that was $30,000. So the rec center currently is picking up $100,000 worth of intramural wages alone. That's none of our equipment, that's no facility upgrades, that's not painting the lines, that's not anything other than staff wages between our full-time staff and the student wages to run the program. That $20,000, we put it towards our staff wages, so that way we can continue to fully staff each game. So typically that's an umpire or an official and a scorekeeper. Some sports do require more, but every sport, if it's a team sport, typically takes 2 people. Our small sports like the ping pongs, pickleball, those individual sports, we don't charge for at all. That's just show up and play. Everybody that's a winner gets a t-shirt. And so we've kept those costs really, really low on the student end for as far as what they're paying for. So the $20,000 for what would have covered just in the fall, $20,000 would have covered the cost of flag football and outdoor soccer, and that's it. So it costs us about $30,000 just to run the fall sports of intramurals. And then it's about $25,000 for the spring semester.
And that's including the fees that you guys charge the students as well?
That's just the staffing costs.
Just that.
Yeah, so if you included the $2,000, that would offset the $55,000 for staff wages for our student staff, so that'd be $53,000.
Any additional? Senator Martinez?
How many students each year participate in intramural sports?
7,500 was what our participation was last year. Our total participations, that was just over 1,400 unique participants.
Senator Sethi?
So the officials that you were talking about, are those like rec center staff? Are they students who are like working? Are they like, who is actually getting paid that money?
All students. We have one intramural coordinator, that's our full-time staff member. We have 4 full-time staff members total at the rec center: director, assistant director, a facility operations supervisor, and an intramural coordinator, and then custodians. But there's only 4 professional staff. Everybody else is about 70 student employees that run all of our intramural sports, our officials, our scorekeepers, all of our group fitness instructors, our students, and then everybody that works within the facility, our students as well. We do not do any outside hiring for that.
Any additional questions or comments?
Can I comment?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. I just want to note that so it costs us about $100,000 just in wages for our intramural coordinator and the staffing wages for the year. Anything out of that $100,000 that comes out of the student rec center budget, which means that we're not getting equipment, which means we're not upgrading stuff, which means we're not making changes. We have actually had to reduce the staffing on Friday nights for the rec center because we're trending to be spending over this year. And so we are having to cut back to find that $100,000 because we don't get more money. Our students pay $59 a semester to use the rec center. And as minimum wage has gone up, as utilities have gone up, I brought our budget if anybody's interested in that. We get $1.8 million a year. $800,000 of that is to wages, benefits, salaries, and about $800,000 of that goes to utilities. So we are left with an incredibly small amount for landscaping, trash, the services we pay to auxiliary, for equipment, for everything else. We only get like $60,000 for our programming. So while it looks like we've got a really big budget, we don't actually, and again, I can share those budgets to everybody if that's helpful. And everything that we're doing with IRA funds is stuff that we would never have been able to do without that. So that's all extra stuff that we're adding on top. Getting the courts fixed. If you've been into the rec center, we frosted the group fitness studio window, so it's not a fishbowl that you're looking to in anymore. So that money is being used for projects that we just never would have been able to do. So if you would be inclined to provide us with more money, it would absolutely be used, and all of it is going towards our students.
Any additional discussion?
Would it be possible to look at the budget?
Yeah. I brought like 15. Can I approach? No? I don't want to break rules. I don't get tackled. And I can share it with Maris if that's easier so you guys can see. Dad?
Add it to the drive too.
Well, just hand that out. I have a random question.
Yeah. I'm Associate Director Larry Winchester. My apologies.
So one of the things that I looked into, like, was maybe bringing like my husband or something with me to the rec center. Have you considered allowing like friends, roommates, family of Fresno State students to have memberships instead of daily fees?
We have looked into it. So where we sit right now is we are still averaging 1,000 participants a day checking into the student rec center. If you have been there, we are getting closer to the point where there is lines for equipment, lines for cardio, and so that's why we haven't done that. Because once we open that door to 24,000 students being able to have significant others, faculty, staff, we're gonna have lines everywhere. And so while we don't love the guest fee, which is a $10 guest fee for the day, that's the only way that we can help make that meet in the middle to allow people to come and bring their significant other without pushing our students out. Because that's what would happen. We get calls every single day about bringing guests. In fact, in community member, well, I'm alumni, I paid for it. You didn't pay for the rec center until it was open. So we very much know that that's where we'd love to be, and we're just not big enough, and we would ruin the opportunities for our students.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Can I ask, do the intramural sports continue on in the summer?
We do a little bit of programming. It's typically online through our esports programming and our IM strength programming. The rec center numbers in the summer, so we currently Monday through Thursday get about 1,000 attendees at the rec center. During the summer, we drop to about 200 people a day in the rec center. So we don't do nearly as much intramural programming, but our group fitness programming does continue on through the summer.
Sorry, this might be a silly question.
No, not at all.
Intramural sports, so all the club sports is intramural sports. Do you? No?
Nope.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thanks.
So intramurals, intra within the walls, club sports is everything outside of
Okay,
campus.
I understand. Thank you.
So we are only Fresno State students competing with Fresno State students.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay, I'll now open the floor for motions. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Rivera.
I motion to approve the recommendation.
Okay. Is there a second? Senator Martinez.
A second.
Any competing motions on the floor? Any discussion or debate? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote starting with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Senator Camley.
Yes.
Senator Carrillo. Senator Chavanian.
Yes.
Senator Durham.
Yes.
Senator Guzman.
Yes.
Senator Hazan.
Yes.
Senator Hernandez.
Yes.
Senator Jarvis.
Yes.
Senator Martinez.
Yes.
Senator Marcos.
Yes.
Senator Anellis.
Yes.
Senator Pierce.
Yes.
Senator Rivera.
Yes.
Senator Sevi.
Yes.
Senator Singh.
Yes.
Senator Vane. With the unanimous yes count vote, the motion passes.
Thank you so much.
We'll now be moving on to the next action item, 7.3. Action item budget called Dream Success Center Supplemental Grocery Assistance Program. The Senate will be deliberating on Finances Committee's recommendation regarding the budget call from the Dream Success Center regarding a supplemental grocery assistance program. We'll open it up.
Okay, so the amount requested for the center was $30,000, and then the finance committee recommendation is $20,000, and then I'll look forward to any questions for me or the finance committee or presenters.
Presenters, if you have anything to share about the proposal.
Yeah, we're gonna go through it again, but let's start with the introductions.
Oh yes, hi everyone, my name is Diana and I'm the coordinator for the Dream Success Center.
And I'm also Diana, but Diana Karagosian, and I'm one of the case managers in the Center for Essential Needs.
Yes, and the purpose of the proposal, well, it's a collaboration between the Center for Essential Needs and the Dream Success Center, and the purpose of it is to create a mini CalFresh grant for undocumented students who are experiencing food insecurity due to their basic needs not being fulfilled. And why undocumented students? There's many reasons, but one of them is because they have limited access to federal financial aid, including CalFresh, SNAP, and also the FAFSA application. So also their financial aid is very limited. as well. Another thing is also their employment. If they're non-DACA recipients, they don't have a work permit, and so that also hinders their ability to have a regular job. Sometimes they have to, look for jobs where they get paid under the table or the minimum wage, which a lot of times they get, they work more hours than they're supposed to. Many of them get paid even less than the minimum wage, but that's kind of what they have to do to make some sort of living. And then also it's just because currently the current climate issues, many of them are even worried to step outside, and their families could be in danger and themselves. So that's also one of the trends that are currently happening with the current state. And through financial aid in the CSUs, historically, and I personally meet with students one-on-one, and most of the time their financial need is never met. There's even from like $10,000 to $8,000 that is always unmet, so that really shows you that the need is there. So I think CalFresh will significantly reduce that financial burden that students have and allow them to focus more on their education and their classes, and hopefully that also allow them to get more involved on campus.
All right. So our solution and the proposal is to ask ASI to support us in this effort with $30,000. We would like to do even more than that, but we felt like we had started a pilot, as I said last time, where the Center for Essential Needs funded a CalFresh mini grant during the period of time when the government was shut down and people were in a panic about how they were going to buy groceries and other necessities. And so we launched an emergency grant and took money from the Good Samaritan grant and put it into these mini grants. And so just quickly developed a system to do that, and it was very successful and very helpful. So we'd like to prioritize our grants for students, like Diana said, that are non-DACA recipients, because those are the students that don't have a work permit, and so they can't go out and find employment. And if they do find employment, it kind of opens the door for some risk and exploitation. So the goal is to start with those students and then go to students who are ineligible for CalFresh. So $300 per student would give us 100 grants, which is a great start. Why this has worked? Because it's targeted impact. So it's helping a group of students who don't have another resource. We are creating a safety net. So it fills a gap. It's quick. The Center for Essential Needs already has the process in place. It complements what other CSUs are doing in this area. We're modeling it off of a program that they did in Long Beach. And so low administrative burden. My awesome grad assistant will take care of it all. So this is a gap filling solution. It's not duplication at all. There's no other resource. So, so really the final thing we want to say is just that food insecurity is not a small subgroup issue, as you know. While we are bringing it forward for this particular group, it is a system-wide student success issue that we're addressing in our areas, and we work collaboratively and have for years on serving this population. So we appreciate any support you can provide, because our resources run thin and we do need to collaborate with ASI on this.
Do we have any questions or remarks? Senator Bazan?
So the proposed amount was 30,000, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
With the allocated being 20,000, does that mean you'd be serving less students?
Yes.
For
With
sure.
the 20,000, yes.
Oh, okay. Are you hoping to still serve like the, I guess you said 300?
We're hoping that last time it was preliminary, the preliminary approval was for 20,000, so we're still asking for 30.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Senator Setti?
My question came and disappeared. Oh, yes, okay. For the students that receive this grant, is it a one-time, like once a year, once a semester? Like how does distribution go to be qualified, aside from just not being DACA recipients?
That's a good question, because we have 300 is on average what a student gets per month. And then if you're a student parent, you get even more. So yes, we are thinking that this would be one time per semester, and they would have to reapply again, which typically means you've either talked to someone in the Dream Success Center and gotten the link to apply for it again from them, or you've come into the center and we've felt like that was gonna solve whatever immediate problem they were having.
Okay. Follow up to that, do you like have it built in to help like with more if they are parents? Like if somebody comes to apply and they do have, say, 3 kids at home, would there be a difference in amount, or is it just gonna be flat?
So we have a couple other emergency grants that we might say, okay, you have more of a need than just this CalFresh grant can afford, so go ahead and apply for the Good Samaritan grant or the Rapid Rehousing grant. And then we also have other resources available to student parents on campus that help kind of a little bit with some, diapers, and then, of course, going to the cupboard.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or remarks? Senator Jarvis?
I got a question and some remarks. This sounds like it would be the first year of this program, the start of it.
Yes, it is.
So, what I have to say is, before I became ASI, I was part of the community college system, and I've had the opportunity to travel up and down the state. And I think one thing when it comes to our undocumented students is we often just think of providing legal support, and we don't think about providing those basic needs when it comes to mental health and like food resources. And I've seen these programs implemented at the community college systems, like widely in SoCal, and it's successful. And I hope that if we take the step of approving it, that the administration in the future to come looks at this program being successful and they fund it themselves.
Thank you for that.
Any additional? Senator Setti?
You said you did a pilot last year. How much was allocated to the pilot in total?
It was $30,000.
$30,000, and you helped the 100 students?
We still have some availability.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have students that you come across, you can always send them to the Dream Success Center or to the Center for Essential Needs.
And then, is there a motion to extend time? Or are we ready for a motion? Any more discussion? Okay. I'll now open the floor for motions. Senator Hazan?
I motion to amend the amount from 20,000 to 30,000.
Okay. Is there a second? Senator Jarvis?
I second.
Okay. Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay. We'll first vote on the motion to amend the time, the amount to 30,000, and then we'll vote on the motion to pass the 30,000. So we'll do a voice call vote to amend the motion, and then we'll do a roll call vote to actually pass the amount. So voice call vote to amend the motion to 30,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, we'll now do a roll call vote with Senator Armstrong to approve the 30,000.
Yes.
Senator Kamling?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Chovanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Nellis?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Setti?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
Senator Bank?
Yes.
The motion to approve 30,000 passes unanimously. We'll now be moving on to action item 7.4, the Maddie Institute Legislative Intern Program. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from the Maddie Institute regarding the Legislative Internship Program. Yes, Susan?
So the amount requested for the legislative program was 2,500, and then the finance recommendation was to fund it in full for the 12,000.
Remarks?
Oh, well, hi, everyone. My name is Guadalupe Cruz. I'm Assistant Director at the Maddie Institute. If you've never heard of the Maddie Institute before, we are a nonpartisan public policy institute at Fresno State. I handed out, or helped handing out brochures, and as you can see, we do have many initiatives, but at the center of our work is our paid internship program. And today we're requesting support for 5 scholarships for our Valley Legislative Program, which is one of 4 programs that we have. And that places students in local, state, and federal elected official offices here in the Valley. So we recognize that part of ASI's priorities is to support programs that impact many students. And while the scholarships will directly support 5 students, the impact extends far beyond them. When we remove financial barriers for students who seek these opportunities that are often unpaid, they gain hands-on experience in public service, build professional networks, and develop leadership skills that they bring back to Fresno State. These students become mentors for other students, they lead student organizations and clubs, and they become greater champions for the campus and the community. Our internship programs are open to all majors, and students have to be enrolled at one of our partner campuses in order to be eligible to apply. So in addition to Fresno State, we partner with CSUB, Stan State, UC Merced, and State Center Community College District. And similar to how we receive support from them, all of the support that we get goes directly to their students. So similarly, 100% of ASI support will go entirely and directly to Fresno State students. The Maddie Institute covers all of the operational and administrative promotional costs related to the program. Each year we work really hard to raise funds to award about 30 to 35 scholarships for students for the Valley program, and about 50% of these scholarships actually go to our Fresno State students. And so we're really grateful for ASI's support that has opened many doors for numerous Fresno State students. Since 2001, we've awarded nearly 600 scholarships to interns who have gone on to become elected officials, lawyers, and industry leaders. So our work would not be possible without your support, and we hope that we can continue this partnership. So I'm open to any questions.
Does any senator have any question or remarks for present? Senator Hassan?
Do you have like an estimate of how many applicants you get for the internship program?
For just the Valley one?
Yes.
I would say we get over 100 applicants.
Okay, and follow-up question, how many positions do you open up for students?
We do 10 to 15 per semester, and like I said, about half of that goes to Fresno State students.
Any other, Senator Sibley?
For these internships, what are the like hour requirements and stuff for like how many hours are these students working versus
Yeah.
how much they're getting paid?
Yeah, so they have to complete 150 hours over the course of the semester. I know that Fresno State requires 120, so we require 150, and they roll into a course, so they get 3 units from the academic credit. So it spans each semester, so it's 15 to 10 weeks per week.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Senator Hassan?
Sorry, kind of going back to the same question earlier of how many you offer. Is there a reason why you wouldn't offer more internship placements for students?
A lot of it has to do with funding. So we have a lot of offices lined up, especially here in Fresno. City council, county supervisors, U.S. representatives in the state legislature, and there's a lot of them, but it really just comes down to funding.
Okay. Follow-up question, sorry.
Yeah.
So, for the Fresno State students who do get the internship, is that strictly funded through Fresno State, or is that a separate allocation from you guys?
So it's combined funding. We get support from Fresno State, and in previous years we've gotten support from ASI, and then we also do our own fundraising, and we get like private donations, and we apply for grants as well. So it's combined funding, and all of the funding that we do get goes directly to students because we cover our administrative and operational costs.
Another follow-up question.
Yeah.
If we were to hypothetically offer more, would that open up another internship position for a student? Because I know you're, like right now, so you're supporting 5 scholarships at $2,500 each. So another $2,500 would be 6 scholarships?
Yes, so we would adjust our budget. It hasn't been approved, so our budget for next fiscal year, whatever we get, we just increase the amount.
Okay. Okay.
Any other additional questions or comments? Okay, I'll now open the floor for motions. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Hazan.
I motion to amend the amount from 12,500 to 15,000.
Is there a second? Is there any, Senator Sevi?
Second.
Okay, is there any competing motion on the floor? Okay, once again, we'll vote on the amendment, and then from there, we'll do a roll call to actually, approve the motion or deny the motion. So to allocate $15,000, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, and then we'll be voting on 7.4 Maddie Institute for $15,000, starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Camlin,
Yes.
Senator Grillo, Senator Chobanian, Senator Durham, Senator Guzman,
Yes.
Senator Hazan,
Yes.
Senator Hernandez,
Yes.
Senator Jarvis,
Yes.
Senator Martinez,
Yes.
Senator Marcos,
Yes.
Senator Anales,
Yes.
Senator Pierce,
Yes.
Senator Rivera,
Yes.
Senator Sevi,
Yes.
Senator Singh,
Yes.
and Senator Vane.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you.
We'll now be moving on to action item 7.5, budget call from the Learning Center, Academic Success, RISE. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendation regarding the budget call from the Learning Center, Academic Success, regarding Reaching for Inspiration Success Network.
Okay, so before I read the amounts, I'll just, what we have tallied up spent for, the amount that's been awarded so far, it's been 51,000. And then something I didn't say previously, so we have, you know how I mentioned the budget was 140,000? So essentially what that does, so say we award 130,000, the surplus of the 140, so the 10 grand would go into the new programs line for next year. So right now our new programs line for the next budget year is 70 grand, and then whatever doesn't get used from today's budget call would be put into the new programs for the following year. And then I'll move on to the amount requested. So the amount requested was 1,980, and then the finance committee decided to fund that in full. And if you guys have any questions, let me know, or the finance committee.
And then, Presenter, if you have anything to share.
Hello everyone, my name is Prabjot Kaur and I'm the Academic Success Coach with Academic Success Coaching. The purpose of RISE, Reaching for Inspiration, Success and Excellence, is to motivate and empower freshmen and sophomore students who have been placed on academic warning, previously known as academic probation. And along with that, it is done through interactive team building activities, reflective exercises, and motivational insights from guest panelists, while fostering meaningful connection and campus support resources as well. Our goal is to bring 300 freshmen and sophomore students on academic notice warning to the campus before the start of fall semester for this 2-hour event.
And any questions or comments from senators? Okay, seeing no questions or comments, we'll now open the floor for motions. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Sevi?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Senator Hernandez?
I second.
Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay, starting with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Senator Camlin?
Yes.
Senator Grillo?
Yes.
Senator Chobanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
No.
Senator Anales?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
And Senator Vane. The motion to approve passes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll be moving on to the next action item, 7.6, budget call from Fresno State Radio, student consoles. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from Fresno State Radio regarding student consoles.
Okay, so the new amount that we're at is 52,980. And for Fresno State Radio, they applied their amount requested was 18,946 with 8 cents, and the Finance Committee recommendation was $10,000. Do you have any questions?
if you have anything to share.
Oh, my turn.
If you have anything to share.
I have plenty to share. Okay, so you guys are going to get a packet of information. Really, it's the first 4 pages that I'm hoping that you guys are able to look at. The rest of them are student testimonials, just so that you get an idea of the experiences the students have who are involved with the radio station. I am Julie Logan Lundahl. I'm the general manager of the radio stations on campus, and I say hello to the finance committee again, who were kind enough to hear from me last week. And I'm here to provide a little more information today, hopefully with a little closer look at the numbers for you guys. The very first page of the packet that I gave you was a copy of the plaque that we have hanging in the radio station office. And I'm only providing that so that you guys understand how long that the radio station has had a relationship with ASI. It's been almost 45 years that we've been partnering to support students who are working with the radio station. Page 2 and 3 are the press releases that have recently come out. They came out at the beginning of 2025 and at the end of 2025. This is that major infrastructure replacement project that we did that took us years and years and years to accomplish. And the reason why I'm supplying you with those press releases is that's the big picture of what the radio station has been doing to modernize our equipment and stay in compliance with the Federal Communications Commission. And then I want to give the dollar amount, because that's the important part. This big infrastructure replacement program was like $200,000. So for us, the radio station, by the way, is self-funding. We are fully self-funding. We don't get any money from a department or a college, right? So it took a lot of years to raise the money to do those $200,000 worth of improvements. What we're talking about today is a replacement console that needs to go into the production room. So the request for the $18,946 is specifically, very specifically, exactly that console. There is no fat in that budget. And I think on page 4 is the actual quote from RS Specialties that shows you that console and the associated equipment that goes with it. It's basically a big computer with a huge keyboard to it, right? You guys are familiar with what you see in radio station studios, right? So that's what we're asking for. So we're asking for help. So you guys are kind of right at the end of this entire $200,000 project. And why am I in front of you about this part? Because it's a time-sensitive situation. We need to get that board in there. We need to stay in compliance with the Federal Communications Commission, because the control room needs to be able to talk to the production room and back and forth, and both of those studios have to be able to talk to the transmitters. So that is kind of the big picture of the money, right? It's a crucial piece of equipment. We're not asking for a penny more than what that thing costs. There's no inflation on the request. The quote from the manufacturer you guys have. We really, really do need that full amount to move forward with replacing the console in the production room. Thank you to the Finance Committee for recommending the $10,000. Great. We're very grateful for that, but we really can't move forward with purchasing this equipment without the full amount. So I think that I've covered, what we're asking for and why, the time-sensitive part of it that's required by the FCC. I guess and again, the Finance Committee is hearing this two weeks in a row, but I'll just remind everybody here that the radio station serves all students at Fresno State. We don't serve just a single department or college. It's something that is in place very, very specifically. I work very closely with President Saul because I report directly to him, because the license of the radio station is in the name of California State University, Fresno. So for our station operations, I report directly to him. And we have worked for the last almost 15 years to make sure that the radio station is positioned to serve every single student on campus. So we get interns, volunteers, service learning, independent study students from all over campus. So, and I'm never happier than when I get a student from some really odd corner of campus. That makes me super happy. There's some natural ones with MCJ and COM and all that stuff that comes in, a lot of marketing students, but never happier when they come in, broadcast engineering. So I'll get an engineering student. I've had people from kinesiology that are trying to use to learn marketing. That's why you have those student testimonials, if you ever want to look at those, so that you can see all the different types of students from all across campus that gain skills from KFSR. So I mentioned that we're self-funding. Did I mention we're self-funding? We're self-funding. Okay. So KFSR serves as both a student academic program. You heard the internship piece, the service learning piece, the independent study piece. And we're also a student professional development platform. So students don't have to be enrolled in any class to be part of the radio station. They can just come in as a volunteer and they have access to all the same activities. So we're, you know, come one and come all. Usually the question comes up, how many students do you serve? And that is such a difficult question for me to answer, because the answer could be as small as, oh, well, I have half a dozen interns this semester, right? But that is not the big picture. First of all, I can have service learning students from a half a dozen classes, right? So 35 students times 6, right? And that's just the service learning piece. I can have volunteers come and go because we try to adjust to what they want to do. Sometimes it's like they just want to work on one concert with us, right? Or they're doing a big marketing blitz for, you know, sometimes they're there for semesters on end because they really dig in to do stuff. And that's not even mentioning the students who are listening to the radio station. So that starts to be thousands and thousands of people. And so this equipment is not a single event. It's not a single thing. It's trying to keep us going, and it keeps us going all the time. And we are 24/7, 365. So spring break, winter break, summer, we're here. We never turn it off. So what am I missing? Yeah, I guess I got the part about the radio station. About, you know, who we are, how poor we are, and how much we need to how poor we are and how much we need to run. So oh, sorry.
Oh, if we could get a motion to extend time if we have any questions, Senator Hernandez.
I motion to extend the time by 3 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes, sorry.
5 minutes. And then Senator Sethi.
Second.
Okay. Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay, we'll do a voice call vote to extend time by 5 minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion to approve time by 5 minutes passes.
God, did I really talk for 7 minutes? Sorry.
Any questions or comments, Senators? Senator Durham?
Can you kind of clarify what would happen if you don't get this piece of equipment? Like, would the radio station not be able to function?
I'm so happy you asked that question. So this is my analogy. The Finance Committee heard this already, but radio stations are like airplanes where you have to have 2 engines, right? Because if one stops, the other one has to keep the airplane in the air. Same thing with radio stations. We are required to stay on the air. When the FCC grants you access to the airwaves, there's all kinds of requirements. So we have to stay on the air. So if something happens to the control room, we have to be able to broadcast from the production room and back and forth. So those are the 2 engines of the airplane. And without using up a lot of time, I will tell you that the production room engine is failing bad. It has duct tape and bubble gum and baling wire, and our engineer has done everything that he possibly can to keep it going, but there may be a mushroom cloud soon. So does that answer your question? They have to talk to each other, and it's all this digital upgrade, and the rooms have to talk to the digital transmitter to get the radio station on the air.
Senator Sethi?
So out of curiosity, is this the one and only quote you've gotten for the needed equipment? Is this the best quote you've gotten for the equipment?
Yes.
Is this, okay.
So this huge infrastructure replacement program, we have been doing bids and quotes and, you know, and I will say that the community has been fantastic. They usually are, the broadcast community and the engineering community, about taking care of public radio stations. They give us their rock bottom prices. So we're very, very grateful that, and RS Specialties, it has proven many, many times over that they get us this equipment in the least amount as possible.
Any other questions or remarks, Senator Hazan?
I'm sorry if you already answered this, but how many listeners do you guys get?
So Nielsen ratings is very expensive. We even have commercial radio stations in this market cannot afford to subscribe to Nielsen, so I cannot quote. So KFSR does not get Nielsen ratings. So officially, I cannot quote ratings. I can say that Nielsen puts out ratings each quarter, and they give it's very broad ratings. It's persons, from 0 to 99 who are listening 24/7, 365. There's no like targeted demographic that I can quote. But the remarkable thing about KFSR is it ends up in the middle of that group of radio stations. Now remember, ratings come out for any broadcast radio station you can hear in the market. So it doesn't have to come just from Fresno. If you can get it on the radio, it's considered part of the broadcast market. And we end up in the middle of that, which is insane. We shouldn't even be showing up. But we own the format in the market, which is remarkable, and we have also got a legacy format because we've been doing it for almost 45 years. So we have some very, very dedicated listeners. And that is why we enjoy a position really above even some commercial radio stations. That's a really rough answer to that question because I can't quote numbers because we don't pay for them for the rights to do that. Is that fair? I think I said that without breaking any rules.
So what is the range on the radio station? Is it like all of Fresno County, Fresno City? Like what's
Oh, we're going to burn up all of our minutes, you know that, right? Okay, so we have a footprint that's basically the Fresno-Clovis metro area, right? That's what we're licensed for. And if you look at those two press releases, January 1st of last year, we increased our power to 4,500 watts. You guys give me the numbers. It's all very blurry.
45 to 7,000.
No, that was the one on December 31st.
Oh, okay.
So on January 1st, we went from like 26 to 45. And then, that's a long story and a fun one, so if you guys ever have free time. And then on the 31st, we were able to raise it to 7,000. That did not increase the footprint because we are not licensed for a greater footprint, but we saturate now. So you can be in your basement and you can hear KFSR. You can be behind a big brick monolith and you can still hear KFSR. So that's exciting news. But it is licensed just for the Fresno-Clovis metro, essentially.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Has the radio station considered applying for Travel IRA to fund this, or the IRA?
We do. But obviously these are durable goods that we're asking for from Budget Call, and IRA does not allow any durable goods.
Thank you.
Look at me sounding like I knew my homework. Oh, you'll see me at IRA time. I'll be begging men again.
Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Durham?
I would like to motion to amend the suggestion to the full amount.
Okay. And then is there a second? Senator Sebi?
Second.
Okay. Any competing motions on the floor? Okay. Once again, we'll motion for the amendment, and then we'll do the actual voting for the full amount. And then, so voice call vote for the amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say sign. Any abstentions? Okay. Now to fund the full amount for FS Radio Studio Console, starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Camley?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Trevanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham? Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hassan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Anales?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sebi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
And Senator Big. With the unanimous yes count vote, the motion passes.
Yay! Can I say that? Is that okay?
We'll now be moving on to item 7.7, student involvement homecoming. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finances Committee recommendation regarding the budget call for the student involvement regarding homecoming.
So, the amount that has been awarded so far has been $71,926. And for homecoming,
Hi everyone, my name is Shauna. I work in student involvement, and I oversee the major events for the university. And so that is homecoming as one of those. Sorry, I'm a little short. I don't know if you can hear me on the mic, but I'll try to be as loud as I can. I'm sorry I don't have any students with me today. They all had class for those that served on homecoming this last year. So what is homecoming? Homecoming is a week, a tradition that we use every October. It's a week worth of events, and depending on our funding, depends on the caliber of type of week it's going to be and what we can do for students. So I gave you a report here, and if you see there were total number of students that attended throughout the week was 3,753, but that's only who actually checked in at events. A lot of our events you've come to yourselves, and they're out in the lawn in front of the bookstore. And so, as you know, students kind of come and go and pass through, but they don't always check in. So we do believe these numbers are higher than this, but that's what we were able to actually track. And then we do this report every year. So you can see the events. We were able to do multiple events throughout the week, and each day would have 1 to 2 events. We also gave out 1,000 shirts to students, which they all rally and are excited about. I know you all come out for them. One of the other big things that we do that week is the little stuffed bulldogs, and then we make that a whole activity as well. So a lot of what homecoming does is really create student engagement, especially during the time when it's middle of semester. You're all taking you're all starting to do your stress of your tests and your reports and all of this stuff. So not only is it a great mental break for the students, it also just creates some pride that week and instills the Bulldog spirit, creates a sense of belonging. And then it really does create, we've had a lot of students that have come out and they've said, I just came out and by themselves, which is so cool to hear when they are confident in themselves and like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go by myself. And they leave with some friends. And it truly does happen. And then a lot of people just do get confidence in themselves. One of the things that we've been doing the last few years that's been really popular is live band karaoke. So this isn't your average karaoke night. This is actually a whole band performing behind you, and you're like the live singer. So to come and see our students that like to perform, we're giving them that outlet. It's really, really great to see, and it just gives them that opportunity. And then students supporting each other. And then again, that whole week's just celebrating all things Fresno State. And as much as possible, we are including any pride points that we can do for that week. This past year, we also started a few new traditions. So we always have a kickoff, which is the Monday. We definitely try to pull in not only our students, but our faculty and staff, so we make it a campus-wide feeling. We also decorate the campus so that when you come on that Monday, it feels like you've stepped into like Fresno State and it's spit up all over the campus, and you're just feeling that Bulldog pride. But again, we started a few new traditions. So at the kickoff, we were able to bring back our parade, which is a golf cart parade, but for student entities, obviously they don't have golf carts, so we allow walking entries. And so with that, they do get prizes if they were the best one. And I believe ASI may have won something this last year. Actually, I have right here, most spirited golf cart, so great job, guys. As part of that, we also created, around the fountain, we created a new piece that we're calling Fired by the Fountain. And so we actually got a few of the trumpeters from campus to come out, and they did a trumpet fanfare. The golf cart, the last students in the parade handed off the football, which to timeout at the fountain, and then he did a little thing, and then we had a whole fanfare by the trumpets, and then had some confetti, threw some ducks in the fountain. So we're trying to add more to homecoming that we can to make it more traditional, add these fun pieces. In the future, we hope that we can actually dye the fountain that week and keep it running all week, but we're still working on that with facilities. So we did the best that we could. And then in the future, we want to do this again, and next year I want to actually be able to contribute and thank the trumpeters besides giving them a t-shirt. And so they're actually becoming and forming a club. And so I'd like to give them some funding next year in their support of helping us, and then again, help their club. And the other new thing we introduced this year is that the main pathway from the fountain all the way down to the Armenian Monument, well, not all the way, for a little bit of it, that path, we actually started a new event called Paint the Path. And so students came and were able to paint spirited little things on there. And then that was great because then it was up all week, create some spirit. Sadly, the rain got us this year, but we did have one full day before the rain took it out. But our hope is that we want to do that and continue that. And then in the future, we want to create an alumni piece. So you guys all enjoying doing it now, and then you're like, oh, that was cool. I want to come back with my family or as an alum. And so we'll have them come and either finish off the other pathways in that area, or in the future maybe do around the alumni house. And then we helped collab with others around campus, and as a whole, we created basically a pep rally, but at Crow and Wolf. And so we had our homecoming takeover, which we were in charge of creating the student aspects and student pieces of that. And we were always doing our best to give freebies to students in general throughout the week. So with the funding that we receive, we do the best that we can to create various activities and be able to at least support 500 students, if not more. The Bulldogs that I talked about, the Stuff of Bulldogs, so this last year we were able to put a little bit more money towards it because we received a little bit more money. But basically, we went up to 800, we've done 600. That wasn't enough. 800 luckily was enough because it rained this year. But we had a line wrapped around the building here. And for the 2 hours, we were able to give out that full 800. If we're outside, we may get more students. Is that the 7?
And then do we have a motion to extend time if we have any questions or discussion? We wanted the 7. Senator Kazan?
Motion to extend time by an additional 5 minutes.
Okay. And then is there a second to the motion? Senator Durham? Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, we'll extend time by 5 minutes.
So I can say one last thing? Okay. So all I wanted to give you guys your time is just say that for funding for next year, the only funding that I'm currently aware of that I will go into next year is a little bit from the student unions, which will at least be $20,000. They're still working on the budget, and I don't know the full amount. And then in the previous years, I was able to get funding from the Dean of Students as well as the Vice President of Student Affairs. This year we were able to get them to pay about $5,000, but we've been told in the future there will not be funding. And so ASI has supported us from the past. If you look at my budget sheet, you can kind of see how it went and how it's gone down, and just to help you guys with how much you've done. And so the more that you guys give us, the more that we can do for students, and that's going to go to what are the activities we're putting on, the types of events, the caliber of events, and then the giveaways. Because funding has dwindled, like the t-shirts I talked about, we had to go down to 1,000. We used to do 1,500, and we're trying to reach as many students as we can.
Any questions or comments from senators? Senator Durham?
Hey, Paula. So, question about kind of student employees. For the students that work on the homecoming committee and like are part of the homecoming team, do they get any sort of like reimbursement or like internship hours of any kind, or is it just volunteer work?
So I only have one paid student employee that has worked on homecoming this past year, and then everyone else, it's they're volunteering their leadership board, and then so they're getting volunteer hours if it works out for a class, but most are just doing it because they want to be a part of it. But they're getting great hands-on experience on marketing, how to put on an event, a lot of facility stuff that we have to talk about to put on the event, figuring out a lot of the behind-the-scenes logistics and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, helping us know what are the trends, what is it that students want and like, and those kinds of things.
Thank you. Sorry, follow-up question. I know the Bulldogs is a very big hit, but there's often, I've noticed, a little bit of like leftover resources from these events. So is there any way you guys can like think to kind of cut down that
Can you describe more what you're talking about?
Like the t-shirts, stickers, things that maybe don't all get pushed out to students or like are left over from events that.
Yeah, so I have
can be
no,
distributed.
like, all shirts were given out, all Bulldogs were given out. If I have a little bit of stickers, it's just a little bit. So pretty much like everything is given out, and we do our best to get everything out. And then if for some reason I had something left over, I can use that other times of the year as prizes, but also the following year when I'm, so what we do is we go out around campus and trying to really build up that hype about homecoming and that it's coming. And so we try to go where the students are rather than expect they're all coming to the middle of campus. And then we'll use those as giveaways to, when they come up to the table too, and be like, you know, here, have a free thing from last year. And then it gets them excited, right? And then it helps them get them excited for homecoming. But a majority of the time we do try to make sure we get everything out.
Senator Hazan?
Kind of follow up on that question. The leftover stuff that you do have, do you reuse them for the following year? Especially like, since they're kind of repetitive, the Bulldog, the stickers and whatnot.
Oh yeah, so the Bulldogs I definitely don't have leftovers because everyone wants them. And so for the stickers, it's usually themed. So it's usually our brand, whatever the theme was that year. So again, we can put them out that week, but we'll use them tabling at dog days over the summer, or we'll use them as soon as school starts. We're promoting homecoming and trying to let students know the dates, and then as it gets closer, so we'll use it there. Now, if I have event supplies that we might have left over and we might do something similar or do the same thing the next year, yes, we save them and try to hopefully not have to order as much if we were doing something similar.
And then we have 30 more seconds if we want to do another motion to extend time. Senator Hazan?
I motion to extend time an additional 5 minutes.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? Senator Martinez?
Second.
Okay, any competing motions on the floor? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor to extend time by 5 minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, we'll extend time by 5 minutes, and then any other questions? Senator Martinez, I saw your hand.
Do you guys get any funding from athletics, considering that we're promoting like homecoming up until the big game?
Correct, great question. We get no money from athletics. I actually have to pay for football tickets to give out to students that week, which we do. And then with athletics, they come to a few things and host a table to like promote the game, but really their main involvement is only the football game.
Have we considered reaching out to athletics to put more of like their urgency on, since considering that we are promoting students to go out to the big game, and considering that we also wear the shirts, the blackout shirts, we wore those to the football game, for example, in previous years. I feel like some of the athletics could really help pitch in for.
Yeah, so we would love that. Unfortunately, it doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
We do continue to ask them to support in some ways or funding, but unfortunately, especially this last year with all the student increase, and we were all told that the student increase meant that more engagement of students. Unfortunately, we have not seen that in any way where it has supported anything when it came to homecoming. I actually don't even get things I can use as prizes, anything like that. That would be helpful. And then obviously, like, you guys put on the student tailgate, and so we also collab with you all to make sure the students know, and then we try to support with some giveaways and stuff you guys can all give out at the for the football game. But you're right, with the black shirts, like, we don't necessarily want to go black because we're like, it's Fresno State, we should be red, and it's homecoming, it should be red. But they keep choosing the last 2 years that it's a blackout game. So we made sure what shirt we gave supported their football game, created all that. So unfortunately, I have limited access when it comes to athletics, and the only people that tend to come to the meeting are the marketing staff. But again, usually they just want to have a table at a couple events. And this year they didn't even do all the events. They only did the kickoff because they felt they'd already sold enough student tickets.
Any additional, Senator Sevi?
I might have missed this, but where do you get the funds for homecoming week? Because like based off of the expenses from last year and then like what you got from ASI, we obviously didn't pay for the whole thing.
Right,
so
right.
where does the rest of the
So this year, and what I will get money for sure from, I just don't know the amount, is the student union budget. So the student union board of director, I'm sorry, I don't recall their whole full name, it changed on me, so, but they do put homecoming in their budget. And so that's the only secured funding I have. As far as I know for this coming year, it'll be 20,000. I don't know if I'll get more than that. This past year I was lucky and they did give me 40. And that's why it's a little bit, and then you guys gave me 6, and then Student Affairs gave me a little bit. But going into next year, we've been told we will receive no funding from Student Affairs in any sort of way.
That's what, I heard that earlier, but
Yeah,
I was unsure
no
about
problem.
the rest. Thank you.
Senator Martinez?
Well, that's a good question. Do you guys, out of curiosity, do you guys use every dollar? Like, for example, were you given $61,000 and then you spent every bit of it, or do you guys like save some for like the following year to offset some of these?
I don't have a budget line that it can be saved and used for the next year. Does that make sense? It doesn't roll. It doesn't work where it can roll over. But yes, this is all that this was all that was spent this year. And so sometimes we have like. This is how much was spent, and then we also do as much as possible to collaborate with others or get people to like, can you donate a prize or can you take this event on? But a lot of it, so we do like a tie-dye event with housing. Well, they pay for the tie-dye supplies and they help us run it, but we pay for the shirts. So we like try to collab where we can as well, if that makes sense.
And then we have a minute left. Any final questions, Senator Hazan?
Do you have like a definitive number of how much money you've secured already and how much you expect to continue to secure, just so we have like an understanding of how much we should contribute?
Sure. So again, for next year, I only have right now. I've only been told I will have at least 20,000 for next year's homecoming.
And that was from the student union?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you also exploring funding?
The only other people is you. And I try when I can. We're starting to make some connections where hopefully we can try to figure out some sponsors of things, but it hasn't been successful this last year when I tried to get a few people to help outside of university to sponsor homecoming in some way.
And then I'll open the floor for any motions. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Rivera?
I'd like to motion to increase it to 10.
Okay. Is there a second? Any competing motions on the floor? Senator Durham?
I would like to motion to move it to 5.
Is there a second? Senator Kinley?
I second.
Okay. We have a motion to increase it to 5 on the table. Are there any other competing motions? To decrease, sorry. No? Okay, we'll do a voice call for 5 and then we'll vote on the entire proposal. All those in favor to decrease it to 5 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion to decrease it to 5 is what we'll be voting on, starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Kinley?
Yes.
Senator Gradillo?
Yes.
Senator Jovanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Anales?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
Senator Vang? The motion to approve $5,000 for homecoming passes. We'll now be moving on to action item 7.8, student involvement off-campus student life. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finances Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from student involvement regarding off-campus student life.
So the total that's been awarded so far is $76,926. I'm mindful that there is still 4 more applications to be reviewed, and for on-campus student life. So the amount requested was $29,210, and the Finance Committee recommendation was $20,000. So with that, I'll yield the floor to any questions.
Hi there, my name is Mia Suarez. I'm the coordinator for Off-Campus Student Life. And my name is Eliza, the graduate assistant for Off-Campus Student Life.
Yes, thank you for having us. For those who don't know about Off-Campus Student Life, we are a program that supports commuter students through various programming and events. A lot of our programs focus on the health and wellness of our students, and specifically the access and equity needs of our students. Many of our programs focus on educational needs, helping students adjust to campus. Some of our events, as you guys can see from our photos, are Good Morning Commuters, and I also on the budget sheet, I included feedback from our students. Many of the students mentioned having food insecurity, having events, because the student cupboard isn't open until later in the day. So having our events starting at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, giving out various foods the first Wednesday of every month. And we also do various events, our educational series like our Paws and Pans, teaching students how to actually use the resource on campus, use HowFresh, use the student cupboard, and actually know how to cook. I don't know how many of you guys know how to cook, but a lot of students that come to our events don't. We also host a Commuter Appreciation Week that I also include in the budget, which is a whole week of celebration for our students to, one, acknowledge that we understand the struggle and that you guys, it's hard to come on campus. We have about, the campus is primarily a commuter campus. About 94% of the students are commuters, because anyone else that's not living in the dorms is considered commuter students. Some of our students are traveling all the way from like Bakersfield, Visalia, Hanford, like all over the place to come to campus, and they're spending really long days. I'm talking, I think, more than 8 hours. So when our staff gets to leave, some students are still there doing their 8 a.m. classes and their 10 o'clock classes. With that, the funding that was allocated us last year was very helpful. We had hundreds of students coming. You can take a look at each of our events and take a look at the type of attendance we got, the feedback, and I also included on the sheet. The pink is the budget we used in attendance for this year, and then the green is blue-green is next year, where we also got a lot of feedback from our students wanting to bring back our Night at Campus Point event, which is our kickoff event for students, and we would have about 500 students coming for that, even more than that. And that was usually held at Campus Point, and many people wanted to bring that back. And we also had a lot of feedback in terms of having more off-campus events, such as going to ice skating, going on trips to Yosemite, and something that's a passion project for us is wanting to do more programming at South Valley campus. Shout out to Sarai, we're going to do a collaboration with them this year, or ASI. And we want to do more programming over there because they are an extension campus of us and they tend to be forgotten. I also want to let Eliza speak as well.
I'd like to just share a little bit of my experience as a commuter student. Specifically during like my undergrad, this school wasn't very vocal about commuter students. There weren't that many like resources, and there wasn't like community there. But as I came here to Fresno State, it was definitely like very like I guess beautiful to see that there is a community with off-campus student life, and really like emphasizing that commuter students do belong, and not just like letting them like pass through school, and just like basically creating these spaces where students feel like more belong.
I also just want to finish off with saying, oh, you're going to say? No. Okay. I also want to finish off with saying that our neighborhood ambassadors are all commuter students, and all of these programs and events that we host are planned by our students. We are just a means to help them have their events happening. So it's coming from the source, not just some, me. But yeah, if you guys have any questions.
Any questions or comments, Senator Sevi?
Sorry, I had to step out, so I might have missed it, but where do you get the bulk of your funding from? Is it all usually ASI, or do you have other funding sources?
It is primarily ASI. We typically don't know if we're going to get funding from stateside. We're a stateside program, but we've been told we don't know if we'll get funding. We were lucky enough to get some funding this year, and that was after the fact. We were typically operating off of the ASI funding from last year.
Any other questions or comments? Senator Fernandez?
And then, looking at the number, with any event, how many students do you usually see? Because I know on OCSL.
Yeah, Yeah, so our events can typically range from like 80 to like 200, and the reason for like the morning commuters, like the numbers are like could be higher, is that we typically run out by the time the event's over, and it's really unfortunate. And so we try to give like either snacks or something smaller. We have coffee and orange juice, but unfortunately we do run out pretty quickly in the morning with how much we're able to order from dining services.
And then can I do a follow-up question? Do you guys see a bigger outcome with the morning commuters or with the nighttime commuters?
Typically the nighttime commuters, because usually our students coming in the morning are typically running to class, and so we get a lot of students coming out, in fact, being like, oh no, you're out, that sucks. So we have a lot more during good evening commuters, so we want to host a lot more of those.
And then any other questions or comments?
I had a question. I know you guys are under student involvement also. Does the union give any budget or money to your guys' budget? Union boards?
Typically we only get our funding from the state side.
But we do. Yes.
Oh,
This last year, sorry everyone. Yes, this last year we did cover, because we had a reduced budget on the state side. We did have to pitch in some of what is our signature programs from the student union budget.
How much is sub? What's that now?
I'd have to look at the exact numbers because we already had events planned. If you're not familiar with the way the state budget works, we don't often know how much money we're getting until we're deep into the current year. So we already had events planned we had to cover. I would guess probably about 20,000, plus we pay the full-time salary of the coordinator from the auxiliary budget.
Do we have a motion to extend time? If not, I'll open the floor for motions to vote. We're ready. Senator Sevi,
I move to approve the recommended amount.
is there a second? Senator Hernandez? Okay, any discussion or debate? Any competing motions? We'll now move on to a roll call vote to fund the full recommended amount, starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Kimley?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Cholanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Anellis?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
And Senator Ng.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
We'll now be moving on to action item 7.9, budget call student involvement vintage days. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finances Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from student involvement regarding vintage days. And then the first.
So, our running total now is $96,926. And we have 3 more applications, including this one. And for vintage days, the amount requested was also $25,000, and the finance committee recommendation is $7,000, and then I'll yield my time for any questions.
And then presenters, if you have anything to share. As things are getting handed out.
For Senator Guzman, Guzman. So I was just curious why the difference in the recommendation from 45,000 to 7,000.
I'll yield that to finance committee since they were the ones that recommended.
I'm sorry, Senator Sevi, can you repeat that?
Just I was wondering what why the change from 25,000 to 7,000 for the recommendation. Just I was going through the minutes and I didn't see any discussion about it, so I was just curious.
We actually didn't. We didn't have enough time. We're capped at 3 minutes for the presenters and 3 minutes for questions for us. We did raise it 2,000 more. We
we're looking over their budget. And then the committee deemed it reasonable to approve 7,000 instead of 5,000 from last year's committee.
Oh, so like just based on last year, basically? Oh. Thank you.
And then presenters, if you have anything to share.
So yes, here for Vintage Days, this is Eric and Adriana that serve on the committee as well. Unfortunately, our others, we have an event we're about to be at to promote Vintage Days to students more, and others are in class. So, but I do want to say, like, you guys keep hearing student involvement, homecoming, student involvement, Vintage Days, student involvement, OCSL. And although it is under one department, these are different programs, so please treat them that way. Don't think, oh, this is all student involvement and there's like money, this big money pot. The big money pot doesn't exist. If it did, we wouldn't be here, I promise. I don't see you guys as a bank account that I'm just trying to drain money out of. I really see you guys as partners, and many times you have all talked about being partners with Vintage Days, with homecoming, and so this is the process we have to go through is budget call, so that you guys can be those partners. And then, so what is Vintage Days? Vintage Days is a 3-day festival that's coming up. It'll be all around us and in this building and in this room this year. So I gave you last year's report. Our team has been working really hard to let clubs know about the opportunities that they have to raise funds with Vintage Days, and there's a lot of different ways. And because of that, we've had so many student clubs apply for food booths, apply for game booths, and actually our work crew, we just had a bunch apply, and I usually get like 6. And so we have a lot to hire and a lot of people to make funds, and we're really excited about that opportunity to support our students. It is the largest student-run event in the Valley. I would say one of them in California. We get 30,000 to 50,000 attendees, which is a pretty great thing to show off the campus, to reward these students for all of their hard work. And it is a long-standing tradition of 52 years. So with your support, you're continuing to help us keep that tradition going on. And then why does it matter? Again, for those clubs, it's the biggest fundraiser of the year. Some of you guys might be a part of clubs. We even did it. We tried to go get some money, do a Panda fundraiser. So we're trying to explore as many ways that we can. We made $200 off of the Panda. So it's helpful, but it's not helpful, right? It's just a little bit. So if you look at, one club told us in the past, I think it was the Tri-Tip ones, they've made $9,000 from the weekend. Like, that's pretty good money. You heard Cameron speak earlier. He's doing, he did work crew last year. That's where we just hire them and they come work the event. They don't have to host a booth or anything. And he made a good amount there. So you've heard from the students today how it's really impacted their organizations and how they use those funds, what they use those funds for. They individually can't come to you to cover some of those costs. Club grants don't necessarily cover when a fraternity has a house that needs repairs and things like that. But again, it creates student engagement, bulldog pride, sense of belonging, promotes us to the community, brings a lot of the community here. Hopefully in the future, it's bringing people that like remember their time here, or brings others, and then they want to donate to the campus in some way. And again, it gives us leadership and professional learning experience for these students who serve on the committee. So if you look at these numbers that I kind of provided here, I ran upstairs to try and type some things down. Sorry, I've been very busy, so I had to do it today. But if student food booths this year, we were able to get 23 booths in. Student game booths, we were able to get 3 more added. We went out and made some space for them. So we're up to 13. Student work crew, again, biggest number ever that came. So I've got 25 clubs I'm supporting. Student volunteers, we do 200 to 300 volunteers for the weekend. Those are students needing hours for class, whatever it might be. Some just like to come and volunteer, give back to their university. Student performers, we're gonna have the most ever on this stage this year. We have a fashion club that's gonna come and show off their stuff. It's our first year trying to support and help them, so they're part of that number. Individual students hired to work Vintage Days, 100. Student planning committee, 15. So if you keep going down, you kind of see if the average club has at least 15 students. Now think that they have more. Some have a lot more. So 23 times 15 is 345 students. You can kind of read the numbers, so I don't have to keep wasting time talking. But you add that up, and then you add my other numbers that I had. In just direct support, you're supporting 1,390 students directly, and that's not even talking about the money they're making. So like I mentioned, so just for the work crew, 25 times 15 is 375 times the minimum wage that is right now. Those students overall, we're giving 6,000 away just to the work crew that come and do work for us in certain areas of the event. So think about how much those other clubs are doing and how much they're making by the attendees. So the more we can do to attract the community and attract people. So that all comes down to the money that we have. So these numbers also don't even talk about the general student who just comes out to the event.
And then if we could get a motion to extend time if we feel it's necessary, Senator Sevi.
Move to extend time by 5 minutes.
Okay, and then do we have a second? Senator Hernandez?
I'll second.
Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor to extend time by 5 minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? We'll extend time by 5 minutes.
So if you look at, if we go to the expenses sheet, just to quickly get over there, you'll see where where a majority of the costs go. I think there's just a couple things that aren't on here. So this tells you the event to this caliber costs well over $260,000. Unfortunately, has continued to grow due to labor costs. Minimum wage keeps going up. We also have to follow certain rules for the fire marshal, for the county health department, because we're on state property. And so that means we can only use certain vendors, and we have to have certain types of tents for the clubs and all kinds of things like that. So that means, which those vendors cost a little bit more, unfortunately, but they're the only ones approved by the campus as well. But if I don't have, so for the performance stage, right? If I don't have a sound, I don't have a stage, I don't have a sound technician, those students don't get to perform. If I don't have the generators out there that I'm paying for, along with the power, those student clubs don't get to host a club. They don't get to make that money. So I'm asking you to help support us in general, to help us just pay what we need to put the event on. And then the staffing, you know, I talked about, we're directly paying the work group clubs. We're directly paying the 100 students that work the event. All that money comes strictly from the Vintage Days event. Vintage Days is self-supported, gets no money from the university in any way. And so in the past, ASI has, you know, supported us in some way. And so all that money just goes directly to support the various students I've talked about, just help us put on the event. And we're always trying to reach the trends or whatever else we can do to attract students out there. This year, we've got more K-pop we're building in. That's a very popular thing. We're gonna have a dance class in here. We're gonna have a DIY card and light stick decorating. We're gonna have panels. We're trying to add more things that would attract students out to the event. So we always have them at our forefront besides just the community and what other things we're doing. Do you guys want to say anything? I don't know how much time we have left.
We have a couple minutes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Eric Brown. I am the volunteer coordinator for Vintage Days. One of the things that I can say from a student perspective is we try to get as many students involved with our event as possible. Every year I have to go out and find volunteers so this event runs very smoothly, and it gets harder and harder without incentives to do so. As you've seen this year alone, I had to partner with ASI to put on an ice cream social. Thank you so much, Mia, by the way, for that. And from that alone, I was able to get 30 plus volunteers from that single event. By my numbers, this year alone, I am down about half of what I got last year. So being able to go out and give out these things for students is really important for us to be able to do. And without any funding from the university itself, we kind of just depend on what you guys give us. So in the end, that helps us with our tabling and getting our word out to have this event continue going on.
And then just really quick before time runs out, the other thing is that we have said no to other things that the students have wanted to do on the committee, like they wanted to do a movie showing. Well, that costs, we gotta have a projector, we've gotta have a screen, we've gotta pay for the rights to the movie. There's other things Kids Zone has wanted to do, which those are students that are coming up with what is the theme and that. We were trying to get a cool carousel. Well, guess what? Cost $30,000, so we had to tell them no. You know, we are trying to see how can we up our game, make it exciting for students, but it all comes to what costs we have, and we do think smart, and we do cut those costs where we need to. So.
Any questions or comments from Senders? Sender Sebi?
So I'm looking at the budget or the expenses that was provided to ASI, and the total being 269,000 and change for last year. What do you make? Because I know every single vendor that comes has to pay a fee to be there. That's not a student club or organization. So what do you make? Do you break even? If there's extra, where does it go? Since you're not getting any other money from
Sure.
the university.
So we're always just trying to break even. So all our crafters have to pay a fee. And it's all based on their sizing. I want to say that usually for that it's about 60 to 70,000 that we just get off of crafters. And then students have to pay it's $60 for the game booth fee because there's less things we have to make happen for them in costs. And then for the student food booths it's $530.
Do we want a motion to extend time? Senator Durham?
A motion to extend the time 5 minutes.
Okay. Is there a second? Senator Hazan? Okay. Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor to extend time by 5 minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? We'll extend time by 5 minutes.
So we sell soda and water out on site. That's us trying to make some money. For all the attractions, we sell, they have to buy a wristband to do those. So that's us trying to make money to cover these costs as well. And then we do try to secure sponsors if we're able to. And so that's what we look at you guys as a sponsor of Vintage Days. But the university does not help us in any way. I also, as we talked about, do homecoming and other things. So unfortunately, I don't have full-time schedule focusing on Vintage Days trying to get sponsorships. And it's kind of whoever falls in our lap we might be able to have a conversation with. So we don't always have secured funding coming in that kind of way, other than our crafters, our wristbands, the fees for the student food and game booths, and then the soda and water booths.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Senator Jarvis?
First of all, thank you for this presentation. My question is, I see on the budget sheet, there's $20,000 going towards both Fresno State Police and Fresno Police. Can you talk about what the cost for that is?
So that in general is a couple things. So that is for the 3 days of them being staffed here and having eyes on the event. I don't have those numbers in front of me, so I don't recall how many that is. I think it's at least 4 on site at all times. And then because the event is 3 days, right, we have to have overnight security. So we're paying for that as well. And then if our Fresno State campus police, for some reason, don't have the numbers to cover everything, that's why Fresno Police come in, because then they look at Fresno Police, and I believe that costs more by going with them.
Senator Jarvis?
So follow-up, have you guys considered for overnight security contracting Allied Services and for security for the actual event? For athletics, we have the yellow shirt security people. We could do that. I think also for traffic operations, I see that listed on there. Is it required to have traffic operations? Because I've ran these types of events for the city of Scotts Valley, and what we do is we just put out volunteers with a traffic barricade or some cones and we direct them the other way.
Yeah, so this campus does not allow us to go get other security. We have to go through Fresno State Police first, and then they have to tell us that they can't do it. But also for real safety measures, we need to have police on presence. Now in today's world, these are the type of events, unfortunately, bad people are looking at. And then traffic operations, it is very limited what we're using them for, but yeah, they are helping keep eyes on certain entryways and all of that. And same thing, unfortunately, we have limited staffing as it is. We're doing as much as we can, but sometimes we do need that presence from others. And again, university stops us from going out on some of these things.
Any additional questions or comments? Senator Sebi?
Just kind of thinking here, $30,000 is a lot for rentals, to do every year. Have we considered just buying our own stuff and not having to rent them every year?
Oh, you're looking at the top one?
Yeah, like canopies
Okay,
and tables and
this
chairs.
isn't your normal canopy.
Yeah.
So this is large scale, like 20 by 20 tents, 40 by 40 tents. So we can't, due to fire marshal rules, we can't put like so many canopies together in a row to create shade. And then you're out in these areas where it's very limited for shade in general. And if we don't have nice seating, which is not nice, it's literally a canopy with some tables and chairs, people won't stay to enjoy the concerts, or they won't stay to like, because if I'm here, I'm gonna eat my food and then I might walk around more, and then guess what? Oh, that looks cool, I'm gonna go get a funnel cake or whatever the clubs have, right? And so we wanna keep them here as part of that, like hopefully they're gonna walk around and support and enjoy others. But here facility-wise, like we don't have tables, we don't have enough tables, we don't have enough chairs, so it's not stuff we can even provide outside. And then let's say we were to buy it, well, we can't keep that here, so I'm gonna have to pay for outside storage. And labor-wise, this is a lot. That's where some of the work crew comes in to help us with a few things, but this would still be a lot and take a lot more time than we have to get it all out.
And then we have 5 seconds left if we want to do another motion to extend time. Our vote, Senator Kazan.
I'm going to extend the time another 5 minutes.
Okay. Is there a second? Senator Hernandez?
Second.
Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor to extend time by 5 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion to extend time by 5 minutes passes.
And to the last question, I just want to say on that one, that's one of the companies I have to go through. Not necessarily for tables and chairs, but for the canopies due to the fire marshal rules. They have to have big cement blocks and certain things of how they have to do it, where some of the cheaper companies out there around town, we're not allowed to use them anymore because they won't do what the fire marshal asks or the campus needs. Because I would love to go with those cheaper companies. I promise, I would.
Yeah, I just see the number, I'm like, man, it just seems like for a rental, like that's.
Yeah, and we tried to talk them into a sponsorship, and then they told us on their end there's some stuff going on, so they can't even do that this year. Because we were really trying to figure something out on that one.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Senator Hernandez?
And with, I wanted to ask with the fire marshal restrictions, you guys are very limited as well, right? As to where you guys can host that event.
Yes, yes. Did you have follow-up, or you want me to just?
Yeah, because I know Vintage Days in the past used to be closer to that.
So we used to go from the satellite to the roundabout and Joyale, and we would take over like all those grasses. But there is, for the fire marshal, there has to be an identified fire lane. So basically a lane big enough that the fire truck can come through. So over on that side of campus, there is no longer an approved lane. Was for the longest time. Also pre-COVID, they didn't come to campus. They didn't do inspections. Now they come after COVID. They now come out and inspect everything. Trust me, if they're out there and there's something's wrong, we have to stop and fix whatever it is they're telling us right then and there, so they don't shut down the event. But yeah, so that's why we had to move over here. Is because at least here we've got these main roads and into the parking lots, and those count as fire lanes. I would love to branch out, like move our kids zone to Memorial Gardens over here because there's more shade, and it would be more fun. I can't even go that way because there's no fire marshal true lanes over that way. So we're kind of stuck utilizing this area. We've been trying to build it up, and like we now are growing. Last year was our first year we made it out to the roundabout. Because a lot of people would complain and be like, I have to walk so far. And we're like, come on, you're coming to a walking event. But with it being built out that way, it allows more of the kids' zone stuff or the kids' attractions and different things to be spread out. And then it just makes people like feel like they're truly walking into something.
Senator Hernandez?
And I know you did mention that you guys do help the club, like the clubs volunteer with work crew. You guys provide compensation for that. Where does that come from?
Whatever we make out on the site.
Okay.
So yeah, literally all the money that Vintage Days makes is just trying to pay these bills of these things that we have to have, and be smart with our funding, right? And then like pay all those students that I talked about.
Any additional questions or comments? Okay.
I have a question. You mentioned that the game booths and then the food booths, there is a fee they have to charge. Has Vintage Days ever considered using the ASI budget call money they get to decrease that amount cost for the club booths?
That would be something that ASI would have to decide and say in the MOU.
So it would be possible that to decrease that like food cost amount for the booth and then the game booth.
Mm-hmm. But one thing, I'm not opposed to that, but one thing that I would say is that, let's say you guys decided, oh, I just want to fund the club fee, right? But then now you're taking money away from me. So if I get that money plus, let's say ASI gives me a little bit of money, now I have two pots that are helping pay for all this. But if you say we just want to pay for the clubs, then I only have that money that's paying the club booths, and I don't mind helping them out so that they have less out of their pocket. But then it still makes it harder to run the event, if that makes sense. So if you could do a little bit of both, like you could do that and add in a little bit of both just to help with, because those fees are helping cover some of the things we need for them. But I think I'm not making sense at this point. Sorry, but
I'm just asking. I don't get a vote or question.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just asking. I had another follow-up question. How is the amount decided for the food and the game booths?
So for the games, it's very limited on what we have to provide for them. There are some administrative fees, but for sorry, I was trying to find the application, but for the food booths, we have to make sure we have 3 compartment sinks because that's a county health rule. And then we have to provide them actual food tents that abide by all the rules of the county and the fire marshal. So we have to have those set up for them. And then there's a couple other, the power that we have made for them from facilities, like anything this campus does, they charge you for. Labor and rental of spider box, rental of generators, this, and this, so it all adds up.
Do we want a motion to extend time for motion to vote? Is there any motion on the floor? Senator Setti?
I'd like to move to amend the amount to 10,000 with 3,000 going directly to support the food booth fees for clubs.
Is there a second? Is there any competing motion? Senator Pierce?
A second.
Is there any competing motion? Senator Hernandez?
I want to do a competing motion to increase the amount to 12,000 and do, sorry, let me not do it. 6,000 towards the food booths and game booths for the clubs, and then the other 6,000 for
Is there a second to that motion? Okay, any other competing motion? Okay, well, Senator Hassan?
I'd like to motion to amend it to 10,000 with 5,000 going to expenses and the other 5,000 going to us.
Okay. Can we just in the order? The 10K with 3K going. So, we will do a roll call vote since there's a few motions on the floor. Oh, sorry. Can we get a second to Senator Kazan's motion? Senator Guzman? We will vote in the order that the motions were made. So for 10K with 3K going to clubs explicitly, starting with Senator Armstrong. Senator Camley?
No.
Senator Carrillo?
No.
Senator Chavanian?
No.
Senator Durham?
No.
Senator Guzman?
No.
Senator Hazan?
No.
Senator Hernandez?
No.
Senator Jarvis?
No.
Senator Martinez?
No.
Senator Marcos?
No.
Senator Nellis? Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh? Senator Vane? That motion will fail. We'll now be voting on the motion for the 12,000 with 6,000 going explicitly towards clubs and programming, starting with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Senator Camley?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Chavanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
No.
Senator Guzman?
No.
Senator Hazan?
No.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
No.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Nellis?
No.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
Senator Vang.
Yes.
That motion passes. 12,000 with 6,000 going to explicitly clubs.
Thank you.
We'll now be moving on to action item 7.10, Student Health and Counseling Center, the Wellness Retreat. The Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from Student Health and Counseling Center regarding the Wellness Retreat.
So we have a running total of $108,000 with $926. And then we have two more applications, including this one. Okay, so the amount requested was $12,000, and then the Finance Committee recommendation was the full amount for $12,000.
Are we doing vending machine or wellness retreat?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So the amount requested was $5,200, and then the Finance Committee also awarded that in full for $5,200.
Thank you for your patience. The floor is yours.
Yes, sorry, I know we're at time, so I will make this quick as long as I can. So the $5,200 for the wellness retreat would be to fund food for 2 retreats for the academic year. We usually have a little over 100 students that participate in this one-day immersed experience for wellness. They engage with their peers, they learn about campus resources, and more important, they get to practice and learn. They do about 9 different breakout sessions throughout the day, so they get to choose the different ones. And they spend their full day with us, and so we want to feed them. So that is pretty much what the request is for. We also have about 20 to 25 peer ambassadors of wellness that help to support the event. This is also a learning opportunity for them. They get to help create the event and then also run the event. This past spring semester, they were also able to run 3 of the 9 breakout sessions. So a really good leadership role for them as well. And so again, the request is $5,200. That cost is strictly for food. We also go to IRA funds to get facility costs, so we split it there. And then the Student Health and Counseling Center also is a third. So we really kind of split the cost between 3 entities here. And the Student Health and Counseling Center supports the cost for the speakers, the swag. We give t-shirts and things like that. Open it for questions.
Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing.
I was gonna say, I love those wellness retreats.
Oh, well, thank you. I will tell Melissa, the coordinator of that.
And then if there's no other questions, Senator Carrillo.
I have a question. Is there any other places that you get funding for these retreats?
So as I mentioned, we kind of split it between 3 entities. So ASI has been fortunate to fund us for the last about 2 years, strictly for the food. We then go to IRA, so we do an application for IRA for facilities fees. And then the Student Health and Counseling Center puts another third into all of the speakers, the swag, and anything else, and t-shirts and stuff like that. So it's kind of a third split amongst everybody.
Any other questions or comments?
And this is, the amount again is for 2 retreats, about 100 to 125 people per retreat. So looking close to 250, 300 students.
I'll now open the floor for motions. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Jarvis?
Move to approve as recommended.
Is there a second? Senator Hernandez? Okay. Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay. We'll go ahead and start with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Senator Kimlin?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Chavanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Kazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Nelles?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
Senator Vang? The motion passes. We'll now be moving on to action item 7.11, The wellness vending machine, the Senate will be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding the budget call from the Student Health and Counseling Center regarding the wellness vending machine.
Okay, so this one was the one for the amount requested for $12,000, and then the Finance Committee recommendation was the full amount once again.
Okay, well, since I didn't introduce myself, the last one, my name's Alicia Nelson, and I'm the Director of Wellness Services here. And so the request for the $12,000 is to continue to provide free hygiene and harm reduction products out of the wellness vending machine. And actually, I'm really excited to announce that the second wellness vending machine is now functional as of yesterday in the library. So, yay! Last year was the first year we had come here to really get full funding of that. You approved last year at $12,000 for the one vending machine, and so now we're looking again for $12,000 to support 2 vending machines. Many students face increased barriers to assessing these basic needs, and just having the vending machine available after the hours of the Student Health and Counseling Center has made a huge impact. 36% of the 14,000 transactions we've had so far were after our business hours. So it was during times we were closed. So that's roughly 5,000 items that students did not get if we did not have those vending machines. So I'm really excited about the second vending machine as well. The library is open on Sundays, so a little bit more access there. We've also really helped to distribute harm reduction products. So that's Narcan, fentanyl test strips, the alcohol test strips, or the drink test strips. And those are really important. And out of the vending machine, we've given out 570 naloxone boxes, or Narcan, and that is far more than what people are coming into the Student Health and Counseling Center pharmacy to get. The vending machine has become an essential student resource, and I think just the transactions after our hours, it's become a necessity for students. And on the information I had sent earlier, pretty much we've given out thousands of hygiene items to students. So thanks to ASI from last year, Kleenex, chapstick, deodorant, first aid kits, toothbrushes, and toothpaste, that all is kind of the first thing that comes out of the machine every day. We do fill these machines 3 times a week, so there's a lot that goes into that. So in addition to the funding that we get here to continue with the hygiene items, the Student Health and Counseling Center contributes our staff time, the inventory, the stocking, the annual fees for the machines, as well as any of the facilities or IT work that comes with it.
Does any sender have any question or comments regarding the vending machine? Sender Seti?
I'm just curious about the items in those machines that there is a fee for. Is that like a break-even fee, a reduced fee?
It is a break-even fee. It's pretty much the same fee we have in the health center.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to the pharmacy in the health center, very low cost. So yeah, everything, I think the biggest item in there is our Plan B, and that is our consistent cost at the health center as well.
Okay, so there's no actual making money off of any of that?
We are not. We do bring in money, right? So because people are paying for it. No profit. We put it right back into the products and go out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing and hearing none, is there a motion on the floor? Senator Jarvis?
I move to approve as presented.
Is there a second? Senator Hazan?
I second.
Any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote, starting with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Senator Camley?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo?
Yes.
Senator Chovanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan?
Yes.
Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Anellis?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Seti?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yes.
Senator Ving?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you, and go use the machine in the library.
We would now be moving on to action item 7.12, budget call appeals. The Senate would be deliberating on the Finance Committee's recommendations regarding budget call. Applicants who wish to appeal the committee's recommendations will have the opportunity to advocate on behalf of their request at this time. This time is only for appeals from the campus community if after the initial Finance Committee meeting they didn't receive any funding. I didn't get any emails, but are there any appeals here? No? Okay. We'll move on to item 7.
Can I make a comment? For the Fresno State South Valley internship one, I know we had denied that one, but that was brought up to the Finance Committee that it was going to be sponsored through a department here. Do we know what that looks like as of right now?
That is in the works. I'm currently working with the Career Development Center to see if we can do the pilot internship program that we passed last semester as a university kind of integrated program with the Career Development Center to fund 10 internships on campus. I'm in the works of trying to get that approved right now. However, if it doesn't get approved, I've mentioned to the South Valley campus that I'll work with them again and then bring that item to Senate.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Seti?
I just had a question about one of the ones that didn't get recommended, and it was the library one for the VR headsets. And I was just curious why that one wasn't recommended.
Can I make a comment? We were looking at more essential needs rather than ones that weren't as essential, if that makes sense. For example, like the grocery supplemental one.
Was the library there to present?
They were not there to present.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same goes for the crafting ones, and then for, we had other ones that we denied, but we did recommend them to apply with clubs for sponsored activity grant, which would allocate a total of $3,000 instead of the amount we requested, which is more.
Yeah, I was seeing some of those, like the recommendations on there. It's just there's a couple that didn't have like, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and then for the VR headsets, they did mention that they already did have some, and then we were looking at different departments, and like within the different departments, they also have some already. So we were like, oh, it's not as big of a need.
Oh, I asked because I have done like research in VR, so access to the headsets that can be a thing, but I just didn't know like why it wasn't approved. So thank you for that.
Senator Jarvis?
I got a parliamentary inquiry. I know my Robert's Rules of Order. And that is on the Vintage Days. I know we approved the amendment, but do we need to approve the item as a whole?
When you, all of our items were uncontested. So because it was between competing motions, then it would be redundant to move on afterwards.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. We'll move on to item 7.13, the budget line item reallocation proposal. President Saleh proposes reallocating the surplus funds from Senator Pay to new programs so the fund can support upcoming projects. The Student Senate has allocated 10 minutes for this item, and the floor is yours.
So consistent with the budget meeting today. So basically, when I was looking at the budget a few weeks ago, I noticed that there is a surplus in the Senator Pay line item in our budget, and this surplus is about $18,000, and this surplus can't be used because the amount that you guys all get paid is already fixed. And so basically, it's been like this for a few years. I don't know why it was done like this, why it was approved like this. Maybe they got some sort of recommendation. But it'll go to reserves if unused. And when I noticed that, I also noticed there was a lot of inquiries from senators, from you all, from executives too, about more projects that we have coming up. And so our new programs line item is about $15,000, and that's me being generous, I believe. And so we are coming short of new programs money, so no matter the great ideas, we won't have the money to fund it. So then I thought of the idea of reallocating that surplus from the senator line item to new programs so that there is more money to be used on projects this year. And then when I was inquiring with Freddie about it, he noticed that there's a lot of line items that there is going to be a sort of surplus in them based on the way we're going. So legal fees is one, travel is one, the electronic voting system is one, and then new student training and development is another one. And so when we did the math of the surplus for each one, and we combined it, and if you guys were to reallocate it to the new programs line item, it'll be an increase of $30,000. And it's funny, the new program line item is about double what it was last year, but at the rate of how active we are this year and how many projects and how many great ideas there is happening, and just how generous everyone is, we are running out of it. And I mean, there's exec committee happening this week. There will probably be one next week. At this rate, they're happening every week. Just the idea that I'm bringing to the library 24/7 hours is another thing in the spring. that I plan to bring April 8th. Whether you guys approve it or not, it's up to you. But basically, I'm trying to say that there is a lot more projects coming up, and we need money to sustain it, or else no matter the great projects, there will be no money to vote on, and no projects could occur. And so that's the idea I had. I'm open to any questions. This was very new for me, actually, doing this.
Senator Sevi?
So, they just, for the senator stipends, did they just miscalculate the pay or the amount of senators, or is it because senators have left and like not finished their terms? Like, where did the surplus come from?
So I can say a little bit then I'll let Freddie go. There's just, even with accounting for each senator in each month of the pay, there is still a surplus. I tried asking auxiliary why, because it is a great amount of a surplus. The executives didn't really have that at all. I don't think the executive line item did. Maybe they were estimating or projecting, and this is my assumption, of an increase happening in the pay. So maybe they were trying to already make it of a cushion so that if that was to happen, but Freddie, unless you know specifically?
I reached out to the VPF and president at the time when that budget allocation was made. They've slotted and planned for a minimum wage increase. For your guys' stipends, we matched the minimum wage. And it just never happened. The Senate never brought it for proposal formally. It was put into the budget and allocated in advance, but the Senate never passed it formally.
Okay.
So your guys' stipend stayed at the $500 a month as it is, right? But a past Senate or a past BPF was wise enough to allocate for a future change, but the future Senates just never brought it to Senate to get passed.
I see. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Senator Singh?
Okay. This one's just out of curiosity, but is it possible to increase like the senators like pay line? Because I know you said it's fixed, like the pay rate is fixed. Is there like a possibility for us to increase it, obviously for like upcoming senators? Like if you were to vote on it?
Would you like to answer?
So that is a possibility that I'm actually working on to bring on April 8th. So that's exactly where I came from. I found this out. That is a possibility. Stay tuned for April 8th for a proposal about that.
This is just the, sorry.
Senator Sevi?
This is just the surplus that has been left from previous years, correct?
The 18,000 is the surplus, yeah.
So, and this is just to move this surplus, not to just change the budget line for senator pay?
This is to move the surplus for this semester right now, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Freddie, for the pay increase to occur anyways, it's gonna, I don't know if it'll require a bit more for senators, but for everyone, it's gonna require, if passed, a bit more, so we would need to reshuffle the budget regardless for next year, which you guys approve after the BPF works on it with Freddie.
Okay.
Okay, if I add a detail. So the way that this would work is, right now, it costs $54,000 to pay you guys your stipends, right? So that $72,000 is a misallocation, 18,000 extra, right?
Okay.
So even if we paid all 18 senators for the months that we pay you, we still have that 18,000 extra no matter what, right?
But it has nowhere to go.
It has nowhere to go, right? So at the end of the year, if we don't reallocate it now and use it, it would go into our surplus, right? But now, instead of us waiting for it to go into our surplus inevitably, or into our reserves, then right now we're just making the call of, instead of that 18K sitting there just to go into reserves at the end of the year, it's gonna be moved to new programs so you guys can make use of it.
Okay. Sweet.
Any other questions or comments? Senator Hernandez?
I know for the budget call item, the recommended amount was not to go over about 30, correct?
We have no maximum for you guys. If you guys decide you want to give away all of next year's budget away, that's completely your right. It's absolutely, because just as a reminder, the ASI Senate in 2021 had 30K in new programs. You guys have 840K. You guys could have given away your entire budget for next year and left the next Senate with 30K to work with. That's a possibility, right? There's no hard limit.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll now open the floor for motions on, questions or comments or motions?
Motion.
Okay, I'll now open the floor for motions on the item. Senator Jarvis?
Move to approve as presented.
Okay, is there a second? Senator Sevi?
Second.
Okay, any competing motions on the floor? Any discussion or debate? We'll now move into a roll call vote, starting with Senator Armstrong.
Yes.
Senator Kinley?
Yes.
Senator Carrillo? Senator Chavanian?
Yes.
Senator Durham?
Yes.
Senator Guzman?
Yes.
Senator Hazan? Oh, sorry. Senator Hernandez?
Yes.
Senator Jarvis?
Yes.
Senator Martinez?
Yes.
Senator Marcos?
Yes.
Senator Nellis?
Yes.
Senator Pierce?
Yes.
Senator Rivera?
Yes.
Senator Sevi?
Yes.
Senator Singh?
Yeah.
And Senator Vink?
Yes.
The motion passes. We'll now be moving on to action item 7.14, consent calendars. ASI President Saleh will present the consent calendar containing all ASI proposed committee appointments and removals. The Student Senate shall vote to affirm or deny these appointments. And then I can pull it up.
Oh, you guys have access to it. It's just two internal committee, ASI committee appointments from student at-larges. And then in inactivity removal, the students said they are no longer available to meet at that time for that committee. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Are there any questions or comments about the consent calendar? Okay, do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Jarvis,
Move to approve as presented.
is there a second? Senator Hernandez? Okay, any competing motions? Any discussion or debate? All those in favor to approve the consent calendar say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion passes. We'll now be moving on to item 8.0, second public comment. Members of the public are again invited to address the Senate on any issue related to ASI or California State University, Fresno. Each speaker is allotted up to 1 minute. If there's any public comment, please approach the podium. Seeing and hearing none, we'll now move forward to item 9.0, reports. First item is 9.1, executive reports, starting with President Saleh.
Trying to think if I have an announcement. No, I mean, we're finalizing the spring break initiative, me and Luis, the food waivers through dining, and then I'm working on Library Finance 24/7. I sent you guys, and then we posted on our story a poll of whether Library 24/7 in that space that was last year on the south side of the library on the first floor is a better or not better option than opening the whole library up to 2 a.m. And so I'm getting quotes for that, and the poll online was very split. Actually, it's right down the middle. But it would be, I'm thinking, I think the 2 a.m. one would be a little bit cheaper. It would be cool to explore another another mode, so that maybe next year Senate can decide which one they like better if they continue the project. But other than that, I yield the rest of my time. If you have any questions about my report, please let me know.
I'm working on the credential class modality survey to see if students prefer in-person, hybrid, or online. And then, like we talked about, expanding the internship program potentially. And then I'm also working on a tree planting, and I don't want to take too much of your time, so I'll yield my time to that.
Thank you guys for working on budget call. I know that was long, but in the interest of your guys' time, I'll yield my time.
I'll also yield my time. You can also refer to my report for any details.
We'll now open the floor for items 9.2, Senator reports, starting with Senator Hatch.
I just wanted to thank everybody that came through for this. Give me some reading. Shout out to everybody else that came through.
I have one announcement. If you're available on Monday from between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., the Leadership Council and I will be building patio furniture for the common atrium to build a new study space for community. And with that, I have my time. I'm still in the process of ordering a couple of things for my parents' daughter's Easter event, just like for the little goodie bags in the near future. I will go ahead and be sending out a Google Calendar, inviting you guys if you guys are free April 1st from 11:30 to 1:30 to just go out to the Memorial Garden. Everything will be in that Google Calendar invite. And I'm currently in the middle of planning an event for Earth Day. I'm possibly working with the Sustainability Club with their event that they have. So that you can do.
Hi everyone, if you have any questions, please refer to my report and I'll have a phone time.
Hey guys, we're excited to be back. I'll have a report next time. I yield my time.
Hi guys, so right now I'm working on 2 projects, one with Amarisha and OCSL. It's going to be a diversity dance workshop where people are going to showcase, 3 organizations are going to come and showcase cultural dances. So yeah, just let me know if you want more info on that. And then also I'm collabing with the Chicano Latino. Guys, I'm Mexican and Chicano Latino American Studies, there you go. And I'm doing that with Aria Sarai, and yeah, it's gonna be a good event at the end of the semester, so hopefully you guys can go. And I yield my time.
Hi everyone, you've probably seen the whistles. Once I have a project, I don't shut up about it. So the whistles are a work in motion. Thank you to everyone who's been helping. Everyone keeps saying how with the staff that I just meddled together. So I just want to say thank you. I would encourage you all to also just take a whistle and encourage people to take one. They're going to be available in our office, of course, and will continue to be distributed. other organizations have reached out. SPV has reached out for some. Dream is gonna have some as well. So if you know of any groups who want more whistles, trust me, I still got like 300 I need to make. I just counted, but it's okay. So yeah, other than that, I also do have the lounge that I just won't shut up about. I finally got a quote, so that's set in motion. And working with Daisy and Sarai on also with the Chicano Latino American Studies Department. So yeah, a lot of stuff in action. But other than that, for any announcements, please report in my report, and I yield my time.
Hello everyone. For some current projects I'm working on, there will be a potential volunteer event for the Veterans Class. We're going to be using some drills to drill those screws in, so if anybody wants to join that, please let me know. That's still in the works. We have the Women's Veterans March on March 26th, if anybody wants to come to that. I'm also working, as Avita had mentioned, on a collaboration with OCSL for the South Valley campus. We want to do like a paint and sip type of thing. They're not as represented as they should, so want to provide something for them. And like how Senator Guzman and Senator Hassan had mentioned, we're working with the Chicano Latino American Studies Department for an event. We're at the end of the year, so that'll be a really fun one. So hopefully everybody can make it out to that. But with that, I yield my time.
I've been just having a great time showing up to y'all's events, doing a little bit of karaoke, doing a little bit of mechanical bull riding, doing a little bit of everything, and just can't wait for CSSA this weekend. I yield.
Hi everyone. I just want to thank everybody who helped out at your crack cleanup or came out to the current school business unveiling. If you guys don't know, the fountain is officially back and running. I know it looks incredible. So thank you guys so much. This has been a year-long project that we started actually during the summer, and so the fact that it's officially here and it looks amazing, I highly recommend you guys go check out the fountain. That's at the current school business whenever you guys get the chance. But you guys know me, I don't quit, so I got another project in the works. So more on that for now. You my time.
For any meetings, projects, or announcements, please refer to my report, and with that, I yield my time.
I'm just working on the resource plan for costs, trying to see if I can still get more organizations and clubs to join, so that's what I'm working on. And with that, I yield my time.
Hey guys, thanks for everyone that came out to National Ag Week. I think it was a pretty big success. Now we're done with that. I'm starting to work on my campus impact project, so I'll have more information on that soon. With that, I yield my time.
Hi everyone, I have an event next week on the 25th after committee meetings, 6 to 8, but if you guys can show up at 5 and help, that'd be cool. It's gonna be karaoke. Yeah, but free pizza, the bucket menu is gonna be all open, or most of it's gonna be open. But yeah, next Wednesday, so with that, I yield my time.
Tomorrow and Friday is Peach Blossom, so be prepared to see 1 million children on campus. Make sure they're accompanied by an adult. No, seriously, please. If you see a wandering child, call them out, because it's happened before. If you guys want to come and help out, there's always a need for volunteers for helping direct people if you know where things are at on campus, or cleaning up, or setting up. Anyways, it's from like 8:30 in the morning until like 12:30 in the afternoon both days. So yeah, hope to see you there. That's it. Let me go my time.
So I'm working on 2 projects. First is the preview day that's going to be up this Saturday. And then the second one's going to be our 19th annual projects day, which is going to be on April 29th from 2 to 6 p.m. in the RSU. So once I'm done setting everything up, I'll send you guys a calendar invite. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you. I yield my time.
I'll be presenting my proposal for microwaves in Science 1 and Science 2 tomorrow, and then I'm also drafting a proposal for the STEM courtyard. And other than that, yield my time.
Thank you, Senators, for your report. We'll now open the floor for item 9.3, staff reports.
You'll hear from me more next time because I want to go home. But you guys, overall today, left your guys' next year's Senate an estimated $75K to work with for new programs. A good number. Give yourself a round of applause for that. more actually even-handed, more professional, more polite budget calls that I've seen in the last 4 years that I've been here. So great job. I was scared. You guys did awesome. So
We'll now move forward to item 10.0 adjournment. Does any member have any further business before we adjourn this meeting? Seeing none, I'll open the floor for motions on adjournment. Senator Singh. Is there a second? Senator Jarvis.
Second.
Okay. Any motions? Any discussion or debate? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion to adjourn passes. I adjourn this meeting of the ASI Student Senate on Wednesday, March 18, 2026 at 6:30. As always, go Dogs.